Not really a long video today, but I saw this on Twitter, and I wanted to make a quick video about it. Hopefully, it's not long. It might last long. Who knows? But if you guys saw today, Kathy Hochul, the Democrat governor of New York, came out basically and said that she wanted to have well, I guess you would call what she called a hate speech unit, I guess you'd call it. Kathy Hochul announced that New York is collecting data from surveillance efforts on social media. Hochul says the social media analyst unit will contact people who commit hate speech. We all know what that is. Hate speech, basically. Hate speech, and they will be the arbitrators of what is hate speech. And this is to ensure safety. We all know what that means. They always use safety. Use safety to gain more power. We want to keep us more safe. Even though that's not even the government's job. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's see what she's got to say.
Also, we're very focused on the data we're collecting from surveillance efforts. What's being said on social media platforms. And we have launched an effort to be able to counter some of the negativity and reach out to people when we see hate speech being spoken about on online platforms. Our media...
So guys, understand when she says that, what she means is when you say something we don't like, that's what that means. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not about safety or none of this nonsense that they're saying. It's to shut you down and censor you if you say the wrong thing, okay, against the power structure, the powers that be. That's what this is.
Analysis, our social media analysis unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats to others.
Oh.
And all this is in response to our desire, our strong commitment to ensure that not only do New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe. Because personal security is about everything for them. As I said, no one walking down the street or in a subway should feel they have to hide any indications of what their religious beliefs are.
Look at the audacity of these people. This is New York City, lady. New York City. And you think people are just not going to walk around and not be... Like, what are you talking about? Like, they just talk completely out of their ass. This is just so ridiculous. They talk to us like we're children. You know what I'm saying?
We expect to see people celebrating their lives, walking about freely. And that is no longer the case because people are living in fear. They have a right to do whatever they want here in the state of New York.
Yeah, see, and they're living in fear because you have completely taken the power away from the police. You've defunded the police and did all that. You're letting people, you're arresting people that are using self-defense. You've taken all the guns. I mean, these people think ass backwards. Now, before you go any further, because I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh, well, yeah, it's Democrat City, Democrats. That's what the Democrats do, the Democrats, the left. There's the left again. And before you get there, okay, because her counterpart on the other side, Nikki Haley said, hold my beer. I got you one better. Because as we know, Nikki Haley is running for president, okay? First of all, she is the worst. She is the worst. Every day she comes out and says more. She just exposes herself more. But let's hear what Nikki Haley has to say on this situation.
When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithms. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat. When you do that,
A national security threat. Who does this lady think she's fooling? What is this?
all of a sudden people have to stand by what they say, and it gets rid of the Russian bots, the Iranian bots, and the Chinese bots. And then you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say.
Accountability.
And they know their pastor and their family members going to see it. It's going to help our kids, and it's going to help our country.
Yeah, no, that's what that's going to do is scare people to not say anything they want to say, and it completely erodes freedom of speech. That's what that does. Now, yes, people make the argument, you should be able to be verified. I think Jordan Peterson was the one who said, something, because he got so butthurt about, about trolls. You want to, you got, stand on what you say and everything. But look, the internet's not a real place, okay? And so this whole idea is just, it doesn't make any sense. But I want to go once to someone I follow. His name is Southside Real. He made a really good point. I'm not going to expound on it too much, but he made a very great point on these two ladies. So he says, it starts with women policing a man's tone. See, we already know where this is going. It ends with women in power from both parties. Nikki Haley and Kathy Hochul shredding the First Amendment. Anonymous speech is absolutely necessary in a democracy. For example, the Federalist Papers. That is a great point. After the First Amendment is shredded, all political opponents will be censored. And, I mean, we've already kind of seen that. Look what they're doing to Trump. Censored and rounded up. Then the Second Amendment will be shredded. These women are the closest analogies to Stalin and Hitler. But because they are women, they get away with flagrant attacks on the Constitution. Zero accountability. That has to change. And I agree with him wholeheartedly. He is so right. It's, it's all about the oppression Olympics. Where do you land on the oppression scale? And that's how much, leeway you get with, doing stuff like this, right? And so I completely agree with him. This is this subject is a really even a deeper subject that you could dive really deep on, especially when you're talking about, identity politics and how they, how these politicians wield those things, especially on the right, where they claim to hate identity politics. We're not look at somebody like Ben Shapiro. We're facts don't care about your feelings, and identity politics, that's what the left does, and blah blah blah. But then look at him right now. I mean, completely jizzing all over the fact that he's pause that about his his identity and him being Jewish, or I'm sorry, not just a Zionist, and that whole situation, how he's basically wielding that, and anti-Semitism is, that's a whole thing. But I want to go to my guy Inversionism. He is a great follow. Talk about truth. He was golden during the COVID era. I mean, he was meticulous. He was a great follow during the COVID era. All right, and so Inversionism, what is this? He says, what's next on her agenda? Hold on. What's next on her agenda? A social media credit score like China, where committing a wrong thing gets you further ostracized from society? Ding, 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 ding. He's hit it right on the head. That's exactly what is next, my friend. That's exactly what's next. Oh, you better believe it. And this is the step up. Listen, they already do this in Australia, in Canada. We see in other Western countries that don't have the Constitution like we have. I mean, you can see these videos all over the internet, especially during COVID. That's when it came out full throttle, full force. If you got online and spoke crazy about the power structure, they were literally coming to your front door to ask you, hey, this little post you made, I believe they even arrested a couple people. I thought I've heard people even say that several, like, a good couple hundred or maybe even 1,000 people were arrested in the UK. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong on the numbers, but I do know there is a good swath of people in from, I believe, the London or the UK, somewhere in Europe, where they have been every year. They get arrested for hate speech. So this is not some conspiracy theory. It's not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. The way they're completely, shitting all over the Constitution, I mean, this is not far off. This is not far off. Let's go a little bit further. Let's see. He said, America's the most mentally ill country on earth. And for those of us who don't have massive teams of people and private security or military protecting us like Nikki Haley does, with her millions from being a shill for the military-industrial complex, we'll be left to the lunatics who will burn your house down or murder you for not calling them by their proper pronoun and misgendering them. I mean, a little hyperbolic, but hey, he's kind of onto something, But let me do you one better than, just some two political pundits or two political figures, saying what they're going to do. I mean, with Kathy Hochul, I mean, she's already in power. That's happening. I believe that is happening. She's doing that. Nikki Haley, I'd be remiss if she's ever going to even, sniff the White House, in a presidential role, mind you. I don't think that's going to happen. I could be wrong. Hey, we've seen crazier things, but, a lot of people probably said that about Donald Trump. At that time, this time, at that time, or whatever. But one thing that did sneak through the radar that I think a lot of people need to be talking about and need to know, and see, this is what Congress and, the power structure in Washington, D.C. does, is they sneak this really, really, really important stuff, and they sneak it past us through bills, and people don't even know these votes are happening. So let's get inversionism again. Thank you, Player A. Shout out to him. Everybody go follow him. Go follow him if you're on Twitter. So he said, while everyone is being distracted by Nikki Haley being an absolute lunatic and trying to dox every person on the internet, the FCC is having a vote tomorrow on Biden's equity plan for the internet. And see, you already know. I mean, just right from there, that's bad. I mean, once the word equity comes up, we know nothing good can come from it. It says that would give them effective control of all internet services and infrastructure in the country, which would allow them to enact insane policies such as this and other totalitarian controls that will certainly lead to more draconian censorship. These people are tyrants, okay? And I tell people all the time, I don't care if you're talking about a Democrat or a Republican. You probably know the phrase, two wings of the same bird. These people, it's a uniparty, okay? I don't care what you think you see and what they tell you. They're liars. They're all liars. They're all corrupt, right? Even the people who are wholehearted and they want to have change and they're good-hearted. Once they get there, they're completely taken over by this nonsense. So this is why for the longest time I thought, hey, we just need to get good people in there. But I think the system has been so corrupted and completely turned inside out and turned into this abomination that, I mean, there's so many I can't against somebody who says burn it all to the ground. I mean, what am I, how do I mean, like, I put my hands up like, I guess, man, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that we do have that are great that we should keep, I mean, our Constitution is great, but what good is it when you have people in here who just completely shit all over it all the time, right? So let's see, what are we talking about? So he's talking about network infrastructure deployment, network reliability, network upgrades, network maintenance, customer premises equipment and installation. See, right there, this is already too much power. Like, why do they have to be in full control of everything? This, and we already know how much they've taken over back from the YouTube days, the 2012, 2010, those days. When you could go on YouTube and you can go on all these places and you can see all kinds of things. And now it's completely censored. It's completely controlled. We're already in that. We're already going down that road. So my thing is, it's already bad now. What more can they do? After this, you're talking completely tyrannical moves. Let's see. Control of speeds, capacities, latency, data caps, throttling, pricing, promotional. This is crazy. Imposition of late fees, opportunity for equipment rental, installation time, contract renewal term. This is insane. Service termination terms and use of customer credit card and account history. Mandatory arbitration clauses. Pricing. There's pricing. I think you already said that. Pricing. Deposits, discounts, customer service, language options, credit checks, marketing and advertising, contact renewal, upgrade. Service suspension, the whole shebang, right? And so he goes again. Oh no. But it gets worse. Oh Lord, can it really? The FCC reserves the right under this plan to regulate both actions and omissions, whether recurring or a single instance. In other words, if you take any action, you may be liable, and if you do nothing, you may be liable. Oh, man. There is no path to complying with this standardless regime. It reads like a planning document drawn up in the faculty lounge of a university's Soviet studies department. My God. This is bad. And yes, from here, they will only go to gain more control. So, and then people say, oh, they don't want to do that. You're going too far, Listen, China already is there. China already has a social credit system, right? And look how they act with China. This guy. Good old Newsom, right? This guy.
Folks say, oh, they're...
If you don't know, Newsom, President Xi Jinping is coming from China. I believe the president, or you might as well say ruler at this point of China. And he's coming to visit California. And the governor has been getting criticism because he literally cleaned up the streets of San Francisco. All those homeless encampments, all the poop on the street, all the everything. The dude got the government, got the people to actually clean it up and get rid of it just for Xi's visit. And so he's been criticism basically saying, hey, you're doing this for Xi, but you don't do it for us, right? And this is his response. And mind you, when I tell you, they hate you. They do this stuff right in front of your face, and listen to his response to this.
Folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true. But it's also true for months and months and months prior to APEC, we've been having different conversations. Folks.
Unbelievable. He just tells you straight out, yeah, it's true. Because it's true. What are you going to do about it? That's what he literally just said. And he's right. Nobody's going to do anything about it. I ain't going to do nothing. Y'all probably piss and moan, complain on online, on Twitter or whatever, but nobody's going to actually do anything. And this is the big problem, is that it's time for people to start organizing, actually doing something, some grassroots. Look at this meme. This meme's hilarious. Right? And so he's been getting criticism because it's like, yo, why, if it's so easy to do it for the president of China, why can't you do it here? And I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't want to. He doesn't care about what y'all talking about. And I continuously say this. People need to get it through their heads and start understanding and approaching these topics, not in the sense of why do they do this? Why? It's approaching these situations and these issues as if the reasoning that things are getting done and being done in the way they are, as if it's incompetence. It is not incompetence. You guys need to stop acting as if this is incompetence. It's not. They know what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose, okay? Because they think you're stupid. And guess what, buddy? You're the fool. We're the fools. We're the taxpayers are the fools that always get left with their shit in the hand, okay? We always get the shit end of the stick every time. So call them incompetent all you want, but guess what? They're getting what they want. We're not. All right? So, look. I'll clean up for Xi, but not for thee. It's just crazy. You know? I mean, he's got no shame. San Francisco homeless. Drugs magically disappear ahead of Xi visit. So here's a quick video of a look at. So this is before San Francisco streets. And look, woo, voila. You know, that's tough. And they put flowers in the flower pots and all this. And there was one of the ladies said, she's like, oh, they even power wash the streets. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. So this shows you that when they want to change it up, when they want to do, they can do it. Like I say, this isn't incompetence. This is blatant middle finger to the people. That's what it's always been. Right? Check this out. Look at it.
Here we are, downtown San Francisco, and as you can see, they got it blocked off. I'm not a big fan of these barricades. It's sad our country's not safe enough. It's sad they got to put up barricades. Can only imagine how the economy are.
And I'll tell you one thing, from what I've seen, the streets do look a lot cleaner from what I've usually seen of San Francisco. Look, they made flower pots. Look at that. And so what I'm trying to show you is that China is the blueprint. That's what people need to understand. China is the blueprint. They're already doing what our leaders want. But see, we got that stupid little document called the Constitution and all these, these things called rights and freedom in the way, And obviously, it's not really freedom, It's a little bit more freedom than the most, but we have those things basically, in their way. So let's go one more video. I want to just show an example of what the social credit system is, because, like I said, I believe that is one of the end goals. That's complete control over somebody, and policing what they post. Policing if they can travel, if they can move about. All of these really freedoms that we have kind of, how would you say, took for granted. It would be a big change if they just got swooped right up from under our feet. So to give you an example of what the social credit system is, let's take a look at this CBS report where they went to China and took a look at what it was.
In some of China's largest cities, a high-tech effort is underway to bust low-level offenders, jaywalkers. Cameras record them going through intersections, zero in on their face, and then publicly shame them on nearby video screens.
The public shaming is crazy. The public shaming is crazy. But just know, the facial recognition, all that stuff, they got all of it. They just got to implement it.
It's all part of the Chinese government's new social credit system, where people's daily behavior is monitored and rated. I think it's a good thing, this woman said. It makes people more honest. But this social...
She has to say that, mind you. She has to say that, because if she criticizes, credit score go down, okay?
Credit rating goes far beyond a traditional credit score, which is based on your finances. China's version factors in everything from jaywalking to smoking on trains to buying too many video games.
What?
If your score gets too low, you can be banned from buying plane tickets, renting a house, or getting a loan. Nearly 15 million people have already been prevented from traveling.
Wow.
Journalist Leo Hu is one of them. He recently tried to book a flight but was told he couldn't because he was on the list of untrustworthy people. I can't buy property. My child can't go to private school, he says. You feel like you're being controlled by the list all the time.
You are a slave. You are a slave. I mean, we're already debt slaves as it is. Lord have mercy.
Can recognize more than 4,000 vehicles.
Chinese technology firms such as SenseTime are helping the government effort by developing advanced cameras that use artificial intelligence to track just about everything.
This knows every person, every bike, every car, every bus that goes through the frame.
Wow.
You can tell whether it is an adult, a child, a male or female.
Police in Beijing have been wearing these glasses that can recognize faces linked to the government's national database to help boost
My
arrests.
How advanced is this technology?
This is cutting edge.
Wu Fei is CEO of a company that makes the glasses. He claims he doesn't know how the government intends to use his technology.
I have no idea.
Really?
No. He has to say that. He has to say that. Bruh knows very goddamn well how it's about to go down, bro.
The government, the way they're using your technology.
Sorry, I can't answer this.
See?
Can't answer that.
This is the outside our scope of questions.
The fear,
Wow.
of course, is that the government may use this social credit scoring system to punish people that it deems not sufficiently loyal to the Communist Party. And trying to clear your name or fight your score is nearly impossible because there is no real due process.
Of course. Unbelievable. Think about that. And see, this is why a lot of these things are slowly coming into fruition. Right? They took away water heaters. They want you to have they want you to have an electrical one, a new one, that's tapped into the grid. They want your thermostat tapped into the grid. They want you to have an electric car, so it's tapped into the grid. All those things can be controlled from a prime source, another source, and that is what they want. So, hey, it starts off with this, and then all of a sudden, we in China. Okay, it's that quick, It could be like that, So be diligent. Talk to people. Tell people. Let people know what's going on. I'm a type of person who constantly. I'm not scared to talk about this kind of stuff with anybody. I'm not scared of the conspiracy theorist label and all that stuff. I mean, that whole label is almost down the drain. I mean, we're like what 70-0. Okay, at what point is it just going to be just undeniable? So, man, scary times, man. Scary times, but got to be vigilant, and you're not going to be able to just sit back, put your head down, and just go about your day. They'll come for everybody. They'll come for you. Everybody will be affected. So, just stay on your P's and Q's and stop thinking these people have your best interest at heart, because they don't.